Welcome to a new edition of See What's On, Central Maine's radio arts magazine, brought to you by Community Productions and Mix 107.9. It's Sunday, September 18th, 2016. I'm your host, Dick Dyer. Each week, we scour the region and highlight the new and the unique arts happenings wherever they might occur. From Bangor to Lewiston, from Farmington to Rockland, from lounges to formal theaters, from galleries, festivals, libraries, movie houses, and maybe even your own home. If it's on, it's on. See What's On. Great diverse music is important to us here at See What's On. This week is no exception as we feature a couple of great acts. The Ghost of Paul Revere, a Maine group scheduled to appear as part of the next free Waterville Rocks concert on September 22nd, and Sawyer Brown. And this week we feature an interview with Hobie Hubbard, who is the keyboardist with Soy Brown, scheduled to appear at the Waterville Opera House on September 30th. This segment of See What's On is brought to you by SBS Carbon Copy, located on Main Street in Waterville. SBS is a family-owned business and has always been a strong supporter of the arts and community development. Visit them at mainprintingservices.com. A little bit early for Halloween, but we're going to talk about Ghost of Paul Revere today. And listen right now to Wolves off of their album, North.
In the darkness, howling at the moon. Oh, how they gather outside the palisade. There's a wild pack of dogs roaming in the street.
Born on the banks of the Saco River, Ghost of Paul Revere is Maine's holler folk band. Built around powerful three-part harmonies, friends Max Davis, Sean McCarthy, and Griffin Sherry gathered in Matt Young, and together they put on energetic performances that are described as somewhere between folk and foot-stomping bluegrass. The group has been touring nonstop with more than 200 shows this year alone, and you get to see them for free on Thursday, September 22nd, as part of Waterville Rocks in Castongua Square in downtown Waterville. Let's listen now to a cut from Ghost of Paul Revere. Off their album, Believe, here is Andra.
How much for a heart of gold? How much for a soul that is in black? How much for a wasted love that ruined me? Oh Lord, can you take that back? 'Cause I always wanted to be a better man. Yes, I always wanted to be a better man. If I sold myself out to a whole new crowd, just so I could stand and I could scream out loud, if I gave up everything and everyone I know, maybe the man in me would see to show. Well, I cut my hair and burned my clothes, changed my name and moved away from home. If the truth was more self-evident, maybe I wouldn't feel so damn alone. 'Cause I always wanted to be a better man. Yes, I always wanted to be a better man. Well, the crowd screamed out, sing one we know. I obliged, I felt so cold. Can't you see this heart on my sleeve? It burns for you when not for me. Well, I always wanted to be a better man. Yes, I always wanted to be a better man. Yes, I always wanted, I always wanted, I always wanted, I always wanted, I always wanted to be a better man.
Again, that was Andra by the Ghost of Paul Revere, who will appear as part of Waterville Rocks on September 22nd in downtown Waterville. This free show also features performers from the Maine Academy of Modern Music and Colby College. Here at See What's On, we try to feature upcoming arts events each week. Don't forget to put your event on our calendar, whether you're a nonprofit or a for-profit organization. It doesn't matter to us. Please make sure to go to www.seewhatson.com and put your event up on our community calendar page. We'll get it on for you. Coming right up, also in the area this coming weekend, Capital City Improv is scheduled to appear at Johnson Hall on September 24th. That's Saturday, September 24th at Johnson Hall in Gardner. And you definitely won't want to miss Common Ground Fair, which opens on September 23rd in Unity. We'll take a short break, but when we come back, we'll go to our exclusive interview with Hobie Hubbard of Sawyer Brown. Welcome back. You're listening to See What's On Mix 107.9. You can hear recent shows that you may have missed on SeeWhat'sOn.com. That's the letter C, What's On, or on Facebook.com, Arts in Central Maine. Please take the time to send us your story ideas and calendar listings for upcoming arts events. This segment of See What's On is brought to you by SBS Carbon Copy, located on Main Street in Waterville. SBS is a family-owned business and has always been a strong supporter of the arts and community development. Visit them at mainprintingservices.com. This week, we caught up for our exclusive interview with Hobie Hubbard, the keyboardist with Soy Brown, to discuss their upcoming show September 30th at the Waterville Opera House. Let's start by listening to their first #1 song, Step That Step, from 1985.
Well, Mama told me when I was 3, Lord, straight will never get you nowhere. You take streetcar jumping and backbeat bum and get along like it isn't there. You hold your head up high like you're gonna fly. You take the bitter till you find the sweet. And when you got that crowd and screaming loud, you're leaving sitting on the edge of the seats. Oh yeah, you gotta step that step, walk that walk, shake that thing, buddy, talk that talk. New York do, they keep you vibing till the break of day. And no time to rest, and you gotta feel blessed, cause you're gonna get it anyway. And when you start to wail and your face turns pale, you gotta pump until you just pops. And as the ego flew, baby, so will you, cause you're climbing all the way to the top. Oh yeah, you gotta step that step, walk that walk, shake that thing, honey, talk that talk. Step that step, walk that walk, shake that thing, buddy, talk that talk. Gotta step that step, walk that walk, baby, shake that thing, gotta talk that talk. We'll step that step, walk that walk. We'll shake that thing, gotta talk that talk. We'll step that step, walk that walk. Baby, shake that thing, gotta talk that talk. We'll step that step, that step, that step, walk that walk, that walk, that walk. Shake that thing, that thing, that thing. Talk that talk, that talk, that talk. Step that step.
We're talking today with Hobie Hubbard, keyboardist, one of the original members of Sawyer Brown. Welcome to our show, Hobie.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
You know, looking up your background, you started out in the 80s, became relatively famous very quickly with the Ed McMahon Star Search show back in 83, I think it was.
Yeah, we were on that show from the end of 83 through the beginning of 84.
Through 83, 84. And so that's more than 30 years ago.
And there's probably not a single day that goes by that someone still doesn't mention it, which is amazing given all the things that have happened in everyone's life between then and now. But it certainly did throw us into a whole lot of living rooms.
It sure did. It sure did. I remember it, and I dare say there's a lot of people don't even remember who Ed McMahon is.
It's a different world.
It's a different world. So my question related to that is, after 30 years, how do you remain relevant musically all that time?
Well, I think that for us, we keep the focus on what's always felt the most important, which is making music that feels real to us, whether it's in the studio, and certainly when you go out and play live, it's awesome on our side of things because it's like you get to see this connection that happens with music. You get to see it actually happening. And that's, I think, keeps us working hard, because for some people, they will have seen us a ton of times. Other people, they'll only get to see us one time. So you can't pick a night to have an off night. You got to get out there and deliver. And fortunately for us, I mean, I think our audiences always come ready to have a good time. So that's what it ends up being all about for us.
So you're there to have a good time right along with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You related to that. You know, your first number one was Step by Step, if I got that right?
Yep, Step by Step, and back in 85.
85. And at this point, and I've lost track, it's over 20 albums, as near as I could tell.
There's 23.
23 now. Somewhere in my research for this interview, and I think it was actually attributed to you, it's basically one story at a time. Is that basically your approach to music?
I think so, because it's maybe even my approach to life is that you look for that, you know, what is that story? Where's that point of connection that happens? And for us, it's, if you're writing a song, it's about, man, capture the moment that matters and turn that into a song. And that's what, I mean, as a music listener, I love, is when you can either hear something that sounds like, oh my gosh, it's like somebody's been listening inside my head, or you know what a particular experience feels like. It's that translation and that connection that happens with music that I think happens uniquely with music in a way that it doesn't happen with any other art form. And to get to be a part of that, that's what this is really all about.
Connections. That's a great way to. And speaking of connections, you know, at the Opera House, which is only 800 seats, you're going to have a chance to really connect with that Waterville crowd. You have anything special planned for that particular show?
I'd like to say we don't even think that far in advance. We don't even make up a set list. We get there. Some of it is literally, it's like you feel what's going on with that audience and adjust accordingly. So
okay.
I know that there'll be some of Joe's family that's there, which will make that an incredibly special night. But yeah, we tend to be, you know, it's sort of in the moment that day in terms of what happens once we get out there on stage.
Okay. And you're speaking of Joe Smith, the drummer of the band, who's from Westbrook, Maine. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And we've probably played in Maine, it's been years now, so we're overdue to be close to his family.
Great. We'll return to our conversation with Hobie, but first, let's listen to another hit, Thank God for You.
Well, I've been called a self-made man. Girl, don't you believe it's true? I know exactly how lucky I am when I'm getting this close to you. It's high time I'm giving some praise to those that got me where I am today. Got to thank Mama for the cooking, Daddy for the whooping, the devil for the trouble that I get into. I got to give credit where credit is due. I thank the bank for the money, thank God for you. A strong heart and a willing hand, and that's a secret to my success. A good woman, I try to be a good man. Good job, Lord, I know I've been blessed. I'm just a part of a greater plan. It doesn't matter which part I am. I got to thank Mama for the cooking, Daddy for the whooping, the devil for the trouble that I get into. I got to give credit where credit is due. I thank the bank for the money, thank God for you. I gotta thank Mama for the teaching, Dad to give credit where credit is due. I thank the bank for the money, thank God for you. Mama, Daddy, the devil. Yeah, I got to give credit where credit is due. I thank the bank for the money, thank God for you. I thank Mama, I thank Daddy, the devil. Well, I got to give credit where credit is due. I thank the bank for the money, thank God for you. Yow!
That was Sawyer Brown's Thank God for You. Now let's return to our interview with keyboardist Hobie Hubbard. Now with you, besides you and Joe, we have Mark Miller's lead singer with the band, and Jim Schulten, bass guitar, and Shane Hill on guitar, right?
Yep, that is us.
Did I miss anybody? No. Good.
No, you've got us covered.
Good. Well, going back to that period, I think another piece I read about you, you were actually joking about the clothing choices that you all made back in the 80s. Any other regrets over the years?
That some of that might be actually the biggest. But as I tell people, you have to remember it was 87 or whatever. So it's like you got to judge accordingly. It is like everyone owning your worst high school yearbook pictures or whatever. But actually, if that's the worst thing, we're in pretty good shape.
I
think in terms of musically, each time we made a record, we were making the music that felt like it was the best to make at that time. So no regrets on that. And I think we have in the past and still to this day consistently work hard on the road. And I think it's fair to say you're not going to outwork us. Okay. So we're willing to go out there and travel whatever we need to do to get there. And then once it's the showtime, man, it really is about having a good time. That people have enough on their plates that when they come and spend that time with us, that's a big deal to us. And we want to make sure they leave there having had a good time.
That's fantastic. In fact, I think I read that first year after Star Search, you guys made the deliberate choice to get out there and do as many shows as you possibly could. And I think the total was somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 shows in 1 year.
Yeah, so, actually 310.
310.
The first couple of years it was over 300, then it was 275 for forever, then 250, and then it's pared back over the years. And we just always felt like that's what you did, is you go out and go to work. Whatever your job is, whatever your craft is, you go to work. And certainly when you're blessed to get to do something that you love, don't waste that opportunity. And in the earliest days, I think we recognized, hopefully the more you do something, the stronger your craft gets. So it was like you play and play and play, and you just learn to adapt to whatever's happening. You just figure out what works for you and what doesn't. And I think that ends up making a stronger band.
That in part answers my question, because after 310 days on the road with a bunch of guys, how come you guys are still friends?
I know, right? You look at that and think, how can this be? But I think we're better friends than ever. And I think it's because we've sort of forged this thing in the fire, you go through up times, down times, both professionally and personally, and work a ton, and it's traveling with brothers. So we certainly would know how to get on each other's nerves at the drop of a hat if you make that choice. Or, but it really is, I think our heads have always been aimed in the same direction when it comes to music. And all the other stuff, you can always figure that stuff out.
Well, you can take that out with each other on the golf course.
Exactly. There you go.
If you'd like to hear the end of our interview with Hobie Hubbard, tune in next week to see what's on. Same time, same station. Right now, let's close the show with another hit from Soy Brown, Some Girls Do.
She turned up her nose as she walked by my Cadillac. From the corner of my eye, I saw you and you laughed. You were sitting on the swing on your front porch, painting your nails like you were bored. And you yelled she was sure impressed with you. Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't quite trash, and wild and a little crazy too. Some girls don't like boys like me. I yelled and asked if you would like a ride. When we pulled out of your yard, I bawled a tie. You was laughing at me, I was doing James Dean. You was the prettiest girl I'd ever seen. When you rolled your eyes and twirled my pink furred eyes. Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't quite trash. I'm wild and a little crazy too. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. Someone for each of us, they say. Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't quite trash. I'm wild and a little crazy too. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't quite trash. I'm wild and a little crazy too. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. I said some girls do. You know some girls do. Like boys like me. You know some girls do.
Well, that's our show for this week. I really want to thank Hobie Hubbard for taking the time to talk with us today. Next week, we'll return with more from this interview and talk with cast members of Young Frankenstein, which opens in October at the Waterville Opera House. I would also like to say a special thanks to Gatsby for technical assistance in producing this show here on 107.9 The Mix. My partner Gary Poulin and I hope you reach out to us on Facebook and visit our website at seewhatson.com. Remember, that's the letter C, whatson.com, and share that with your friends. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday for more features about the arts in Central Maine. That's it for me. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and remember, if it's on, See What's On.